This is the story of Jake Snyder, a 25-year-old American youth whose life revolved inside and out of an old brick warehouse in a small industrial town on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. His day began before sunrise when he would drive his old 2008 Honda Civic into the company parking lot in the cold, damp air, the blisters from yesterday's labor still fresh on his hands, and a redness from lack of sleep shining in his eyes. Jake had a college degree in business administration, but that degree only helped him lift heavy cartons onto shelves, sort them, and update endless inventory data. His salary was barely enough for his rent, car installments, monthly student loan payments, and slightly stocking the fridge. His life was like a wheel that kept spinning but never moved forward. At night, in his small, cluttered studio apartment, he would open his laptop and lose himself in the blue light of the screen. Here, his second life began, a world where his dreams knew no bounds. This world was that of cryptocurrency. His journey began when he watched a YouTube video of a boy, perhaps even younger than him, explaining how he started with $1,000 and, by investing in a humorous coin called Shiba Inu, turned it into over $1 million in less than 2 years. In the video, the young man was seen buying a Lamborghini at an auction. Jake's heart skipped a beat. He watched more videos. Everywhere it was the same story. An ordinary man, sometimes a pizza delivery guy, sometimes working in a call center, suddenly becoming a millionaire overnight. Their language contained words that were initially foreign to Jake: hodling, digital gold, to the moon, bear market, BTFD, wallet. He put his first $1,000 into an app called Coinbase, and a week later, when he saw his balance had grown to $1,200, he felt a thrill as if he had grabbed a winning lottery ticket. It was an addiction, pure and simple. This profit blurred all his grievances, the dusty air of the warehouse, the monotony of his room, everything. Now, Jake's sole purpose was to accumulate as much money as possible to invest all his capital in one small cryptocurrency that would make him a billionaire. He became a regular visitor to the Reddit forums r/cryptocurrency and r/altcoins. Here, everyone was talking about the next 100x, or hundredfold profit. During this time, one day his eye caught a flashy, professionally designed website, Moonshot Coin, your ticket to the galaxy. It had a logo combining a rocket and the moon. The site promised it was a revolutionary decentralized finance project that would transform the real estate world, where you could buy a small digital piece of property anywhere in the world. Jake tried to read its white paper, a technical document, but couldn't understand it. However, the diagrams, shiny graphs, and pictures of professionally suited individuals in the team section impressed him. Then he searched and found a Telegram group called Moonshot Champions. The group already had over 50,000 members. This group became the center of a new belief system for Jake. The group leader, who called himself Crypto Wizard, held live webinars every evening at 8 p.m. His voice had a calming mystique. He spread rumors about the arrival of big companies like BlackRock and Goldman Sachs, talked about an upcoming big buy order, and referred to his inside sources. He assured that Moonshot Coin's price, which was then only $0.000012, could reach $1 in the coming months. Doing the math, if Jake bought $1,000 worth of the coin at $0.000012 and it reached $1, he would become a millionaire. His mouth watered. Other members in the group were equally enthusiastic. A user named John Doe 88 shared his portfolio containing 10 million Moonshot coins and wrote, "Hodling till Lambo." Another user named To the Moon Jenny wrote, "My kids' college fees depend on this. I believe in the wizard." This collective mania erased all Jake's doubts. Now the problem was money. He had only $15,000 from his savings. He took out a $10,000 loan by pawning his car, which still ran. He withdrew $15,000 as cash advances from his credit cards. He borrowed $5,000 each from his two close friends, Mike and David, promising to return $10,000 to each within a month. Thus, he had a total of $50,000. He created an account on a new, lesser-known exchange where Moonshot Coin was available, and in a single transaction bought $50,000 worth of the coin at $0.000012. He now possessed billions of these digital tokens in his digital wallet, their market value constantly fluctuating. For the first few days, everything went amazingly well. In a webinar, Wizard announced that a major exchange was considering listing Moonshot Coin. After this news, the price rose to $0.00015. Jake's portfolio value increased to approximately $62,500. He kept looking at the price chart on his phone. Every green bar, an upward line, was like a musical note to him. He messaged his friends, "It's happening, bro. Get ready." He called his parents, who lived in a small town, and vaguely told them he would soon bring them big news. His sleep diminished. He would stay awake at night, check his phone, and dream of leaving that ugly Pittsburgh apartment for a penthouse near the beach in Miami, where he would trade while looking at the ocean. His thoughts were now consumed by one thing: the moment the price would hit $1. Then came that fateful night. It was a Wednesday night. In the webinar, Wizard seemed more excited than ever. He said, "Champions, the moment we've all been waiting for is near. Our high-level contacts have informed us that a major announcement will be made tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. This is what we've been preparing for. I urge you all, hold on to your holdings. Many will panic and want to sell their coins. Don't be one of them. This is the trial you must endure before becoming billionaires. Trust the process." The group was in a celebratory mood. People were sending emojis of rockets and moons. Jake promised himself he wouldn't sell a single coin. That night, the price reached $0.000017. His portfolio was worth over $70,000. He didn't sleep for hours. At 8:30 a.m., he was sitting with his phone, feeling his heart pound. At 8:59 a.m., the price dipped slightly to $0.000016. "It's a minor adjustment," someone wrote in the group. 9 a.m., silence prevailed on the website and Telegram group. 9:05 a.m., the price dropped to $0.00015. Jake's breathing quickened. He wrote in the group, "What happened? Where's the announcement?" His message was buried among hundreds of other similar messages. 9:30 a.m., the price was $0.00005. His portfolio was now worth $20,000. His hands were trembling. He privately messaged Wizard. No reply. He messaged other trusted admins in the group. No reply. 9:45 a.m., the price was $0.00001. His portfolio was now worth $4,000. Darkness clouded his vision. He sat on his bed, phone in hand, the falling red lines on the screen crushing his hopes. By noon, Moonshot Coin's price was practically zero. Jake's $50,000 worth of coins were now worth a few dollars. All his money, all his debt, all his hope, gone. The ensuing hours, days, and weeks were a blur. He received calls from his friends. Mike asked, "Bro, what happened? What about my money?" Jake had no answer. He stopped answering his phone. The car loan company sent a letter stating they would repossess the car if installments weren't paid within the next week. Credit card companies started making threatening calls. Bills piled up in his email inbox. He continued going to his warehouse job, but he worked like a ghost. His mind constantly replayed the question, why didn't I sell? Why did I trust blindly? His shame was so intense he didn't even tell his parents. He knew they had worked hard all their lives and wouldn't understand his foolishness. A month later, an article was published on a financial news website. The headline read, "Moonshot Coin Scheme, $10 million swindled from investors in a pump and dump." Jake read the article in the dead of night. It revealed that Crypto Wizard was not associated with any crypto company, but it was a group of 3 young men running the scheme from a garage in Los Angeles. They had purchased billions of Moonshot coins at a very low price months earlier. Then they ran a coordinated campaign, created a professional website, used stock photos for fake team members, and attracted millions through regular webinars. When the price reached their desired peak, they sold all their coins at once, causing market chaos and a catastrophic price crash. They had made off with approximately $10 million this way. The article concluded by stating that the CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, was investigating, but the fraudsters had likely already fled to a country with no extradition treaty. After reading this article, a strange calm came over Jake. Now he knew he wasn't alone. Thousands of people were like him. But this didn't solve his problems. The car loan company repossessed his car. He was evicted from his apartment because he couldn't pay rent. He was left with a few cartons of his belongings and his old beat-up Soleil car, which he still had because it wasn't financed. He started living in that car. He continued his warehouse job, but his hours were reduced. He slashed his expenses to the bone. He got free meals from food banks and used public restrooms in parks. His purpose in life was reduced to mere survival. One cold, snowy night, when the temperature had dropped below freezing, he lay in his car, wrapped in blankets. The car battery was dead, so the heater didn't work. He was shivering. His gaze fell on his phone, whose battery was also low. He accidentally opened an app he had downloaded long ago, a mental health and recovery app. He read a story there that closely mirrored his own situation, a man who had lost everything gambling and gradually rebuilt his life. That story ended with hope. That very night, Jake made a decision. He rejected thoughts of ending his life. He thought, "I can't die. I have a harder task. I must live and fix this." The next day, he went to a community center that offered free counseling services. In the first session, he tearfully narrated his entire story. The counselor, a middle-aged woman named Miss Elaine, simply listened attentively. She said, "Jake, you made a mistake. This is not the end of your life. It's a lesson, a terribly expensive lesson, but a lesson nonetheless." Miss Elaine told him about debt management programs and connected him with a legal advisor who could help him understand how to manage his debts. She got Jake into a support group where other young people, victims of various financial crises, shared their stories. Listening to others express pain similar to his, Jake's shame began to lessen. He realized he wasn't just a victim of greed, but of a system that sells dreams of overnight riches. He began formulating a plan to pay off his debts. He called each of his creditors and negotiated payment plans based on his income. Some scolded him, but others cooperated. He decided to work 2 jobs. During the day, he worked at the warehouse, and in the evenings he washed dishes at a local restaurant. He went to see his parents again and laid out his entire story before them. His mother hugged him and said through tears, "Son, we are with you." His father, a retired mechanic, gave him a few $100s so he could stay in a hostel and not sleep in the car. Jake sold his phone and bought a cheap, basic one. He cut off all non-essential expenses. He went to the library and read books on financial literacy. He learned that investment meant research, diversification, long-term planning, and never investing money you couldn't afford to lose. He had learned this lesson through blood and tears. A year later, Jake's life began to gradually improve. He started paying back his friends, albeit in small installments. His credit score was still bad, but it was improving. He got a job as a quality control inspector at a small company, which was better than warehouse work. He lived in a small room, but he was now standing on his own feet. He decided to use his experience to help others. He started a blog called The Humble Hodler, where he began writing about his story, his mistakes, and the basics of financial security. Initially, only a few people read it, but gradually his readership grew. People emailed him, shared their stories, and asked for advice. 2 years later, Jake paid off his last debt. That day he went to the park, sat on a bench, and cried loudly. But these were tears of relief, not pain. He had started a new life. His story was featured in the media, and he began getting invited to local colleges to teach financial literacy to young people. He would tell them, "There are no shortcuts here. Wealth is built with patience, hard work, and wisdom. If anyone promises to make you rich overnight, they are lying or trying to scam you." Jake Snyder is still not rich, but he is wise, strong, and knows his worth. His story is a cautionary tale, but not just a tragedy. It is a story of recovery. He learned that true wealth isn't just in dollars, but in peace, self-respect, and the ability to help others. And this lesson, though bought at an exorbitant price, was eternally valuable to Jake. He had found his life's purpose, to save others from a similar ruin. And perhaps within that purpose lay true success.